Hello everyone, I hope you're well. So I said I was going to do a little run through of my Grasshopper 2. Only a few little modifications here and there on it. Nice and simple ones, nice and cheap, easy to do, so ideal really for anyone who doesn't want to get too technical but just wants to improve their little buggy somewhat. Okay, so first of all on it, there's a full bearing kit. That's kind of the route you want to go down for every single Tamiya you buy really. If you get the lower end ones and they don't come with the bearings, you got to get them. The nylon bushes, they wear things out, they get dirty, it's just a false economy not to. So yeah, bearings are a definite. So cheap, so easy to get hold of. Get them. I also put on the oil shocks from the Grasshopper 2 Black Edition on this one because I knew they'd fit for a start. They were pretty cheap, easy to build. They go on there with no modification really. They came with all the bits. The kit comes with the bits except for the shocks themselves. So that was another easy one, you know. Okay, it's never going to be a egress or anything like that, but it looks nicer and it does perform a little bit better, especially when I lead on to my next little modification. The Grasshopper 2 comes with a standard 380 Tamiya motor. Most people change them out for a 540. I changed this one out for an e-tronics 20 turn sport tuned motor. The reason I chose this one really was basically down to the colour. I think this this buggy reminds me of a shell suit. Very 80s, 90s bright colours, and to stay in keeping with that, I thought that this motor pretty much did a similar thing. So yeah, and it performs quite well, but it does need that uprated suspension really to get the best out of that. You don't have to. They're hoppers. They bounce around all over the place. They're a bit of fun, but I did it, kept the original parts, and yeah, it looks nice. Moving on, another cheap thing that isn't really a modification. It's just something that I wanted to do. Basically, I wanted to give it a purple helmet and purple nuts. Yeah, and I did. Moving on. From that, I put on the axle brace. Don't know if you can see that in there. But so when you apply forward throttle, quite often in this gap here, you get an axle slap. It can be a bit annoying. It doesn't really affect performance or anything. It's just another one of their quirks. But for the price of what it cost, I put it on anyway. You get to keep the articulation in the suspension, but it just stops that slap. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube about it. You will see. Very cheap. I think it was about £5 or something like that. So again, I stuck that in. That didn't actually need any drilling or anything. It's just a little 3D printed bracket. Pop it in there, away you go. And that is pretty much all of the little modifications I did on this. Bit of tar white just to make them look nicer. I think they do. I think they bring up the buggy quite nice. But these are a lovely looking RC car. Obviously, they're not the most complicated thing in the world, but they're a real pleasure to build. They're a real pleasure to modify, and the parts are readily available. So easy to do. I might go through it in a little bit more in depth at some point, but that really is about as much as you can say about this. Obviously, I've got the Fly Sky receiver. I've got a Hobbywing 1060 in there, ESC I think, and I've just got a metal geared steering servo, a pretty basic one, but again, on a buggy like this, it really doesn't matter. So yeah, that's pretty much most of the modifications on this. Very easy to build, very easy to build. The stickers, I lost my patience a little bit, which caused a rip down here, but I think I covered that up. I think I managed to get away with that one. I think some swearing, glass of wine, and another go later helped out with that one. But yeah, building it easy, gearbox easy to build. So if you are thinking about getting a buggy for your kids or for yourself for a first build or whatever, it's a good place to start, along with a lot of the more budget kits. But as it's very easy to modify, it'll keep you interested for quite a while. I like it. I'm not the most skillful builder by any stretch of the imagination, you know, but these aren't a challenge. The instructions are great. Everything just goes together nicely. It's a well-proven old school buggy. We like that. Yeah, so that's basically my Grasshopper 2. It's a Riri, obviously. Got it last year for my birthday because I always wanted one. I'll go through some more buggies and the building processes and bits and pieces like that. If anyone's got any questions, then feel free to ask in the comments. I read them. There's about 3 of them. But I really appreciate the comments that I do get, and I really appreciate a like of my video. It does mean the world, because I'm only documenting my own little journey in the hobby here. And if anyone is interested in any of it, if anyone finds even the smallest piece of information helpful, then my work here is done. I'll keep doing it. It's a bit of fun. Anyway, I look forward to reading your opinions, points, questions, anything in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a good day. Take care, everyone.